It's 11 minutes past 6.
And it is the most extraordinary story, this one. The death of one man, and it means that a load of investors cannot get hold of $190 million of their own money. This is Gerard Cotton, who died last December. And he was the founder of a currency exchange called QuadrigaCX. And because he hadn't given anyone else the password to his laptop, then all the investors' money is locked away in an online bank account that nobody can access. Well, David Gerard is author of Attack of the 50-Foot Blockchain, which is all about digital and online currencies. And he told me how this could have happened.
When you have a Bitcoin, what you have is the keys to a particular address that's on the Bitcoin blockchain. They're like the password or the PIN number. So what you do is you have a hot wallet, which is a program running on the exchange, which that'll have access to the keys. That'll be where people buy and sell Bitcoins or whatever. And they sort of have a cold wallet. That's like the bank vault out the back, full of gold bars. So what they think has happened with Quadriga is that all the money is off in cold wallets offline, and they're hoping the keys are on Gerard Cotton's laptop, which they can't get into. It's currently in the lawyer's office, and they've got people trying to crack it. So it's cryptography, strong cryptography. So if you've got the key, you've got the access. And if you lose the key, you're out of luck. The coins are lost.
Yeah, but he must have known this. He must have known that if he didn't leave that password available somewhere, then nobody would be able to get to their Bitcoin.
So this is how you have to think about how Bitcoiners think about things. They're very libertarian in focus. They're self-reliant. I can do it myself and so on. And don't trust people, because this is where Bitcoin originated. It was a political project to make money work a particular way. So you get people who think, oh, it'll be fine, I'm smart, I can outdo this. And they tend to be the sort of smart people who think that everyone else is stupid. So they don't realize why we do things a particular way. Like, we know how to build secure financial structures, how to build systems and computers for banks and financial institutions that do not go down. We know how not to have one person in the key path to all the passwords to something. We know how to cope with a bus factor. What do you do if your boss is hit by a bus? And you don't have an institution handling hundreds of millions of dollars that turns out to be one guy, his laptop, and some servers on the Amazon cloud. That is ludicrous. But it's the sort of thing a Bitcoiner would do.
I see what you mean, because they actively want it to be different, to work away from the norm. Yeah,
so Bitcoin was started as a repudiation of banks and our financial system, and what they've done over the last 10 years is sort of rebuild the entire sort of financial structure badly. So you can have an institution handling hundreds of millions of dollars that's pretty much unregulated, has no oversight, none of that stuff. I mean, I think that'll change immediately. Everyone's going to the Canadian government, why didn't you do something? They're going, we didn't know about these guys. What do you want about?
Yeah. Well, this is it. I mean, they've spent so long building something that's not a bank, and presumably the fact that this has happened means that there will now be a clamour to make it run, not entirely, but in some ways, as in the ways that you can always get your money back, more closely to a traditional bank.
Something like that. I mean, people sort of treat exchanges like banks, but they're really bad at it. Like, there's no guarantees, there's no deposit guarantee. It's sort of a weird cross between a bank and an exchange and a sort of professional gambling environment. This stuff, cryptos and so on, are totally not investments for ordinary people. Treat it as gambling.
In short, David, if you're one of the people who's got your Bitcoins locked in one of these cold wallets that you can't access, is there any chance that they will get that back, or are they staring at a huge loss here?
It's a good question. They have to break into the laptop and hope the keys are on it. If they can get in and they are on the laptop, then good. If they aren't, the money might be lost.
I thought it was really interesting because I'll be honest, there is so much that I still don't understand about cryptocurrency and blockchain and Bitcoin, but the way he described it there, and the fact that essentially what they're trying to do is get as far away from conventional banking as possible. And this is what's happened. So things might not be quite so much that way in the future is really interesting. That's David Gerard, who wrote Attack of the 50-Foot Blockchain. It's just gone 6:15.